Hello, everyone. First time being in this group. I was referred here by someone who went through the same as I did. Let me start off. I, 26F, cheated on my husband, 26M, of 8 years. I confessed to him about 4 months ago about my infidelity. It started off as an emotional relationship for 2 months, and then we had sex the month after. I immediately confessed to my husband about it. I've known my husband since we were 9 years old. Lifelong friends, you could say. We dated other people and then got together in my senior year. Years went by and we had 2 beautiful boys who are 4 and 1. My first pregnancy and postpartum were rocky, but we got through it. We had our lows for quite a while, but never as bad once my second was born. I was a first-time stay-at-home mom on October of last year. Husband started forgetting to see me as a woman and saw me as a mother only. Or so I felt. I would always tend to his needs sexually and emotionally. We always argued about the same things though, which was about my needs and my love language. He tried to do them, but would stop again. I guess I wasn't happy anymore after begging for his validation. I got attention from an old ex, and well, you know what happened next. I regret it. I regretted since that night. I feel dirty, used, and horrible. I cry because not only did I cheat on my spouse, but on my children too. He wants the divorce with no thought of reconciliation. He will forever be mad and hurt, and I understand. I wish I can have my family back. Edit. Yes, I start therapy for me and my oldest next week. I have all my finances in order with a little debt, but once I start my job in 2 weeks, I'll be able to pay it off. I currently live with my sisters, and they are charging me very little in rent so I can save up for an apartment. I can't save my husband, and I know that. I am trying to make things as easy as I can. I stopped putting my emotions and feelings over any little thing. I'm giving him his space, and now we only talk about our kids. We both always remind our oldest it isn't his fault, and we love him very much regardless. I used to call and text my husband all the time during our separation, but now I'm giving him his space and making our situation for our kids the most amicable way as possible. I did let him know whatever he wants me to sign, I'll do it. Comments. This seems to be a running story. I wasn't being validated. You need to figure out why you feel the need to be validated by someone else. Why are you not comfortable in your own skin? Why is it that you cannot look at yourself and say, I'm enough? Why is there that void you feel has to be filled by an exterior source? You have gotten some great advice. You can only become the best version of you. This is all I have to add. This just may be how you wrote it, so use it as you will. You said you regretted it since that night. I'm assuming that's the night of sex. If you said that to your husband, it could sound like you don't regret the EA portion of it. The EA is just as destructive to the marriage as a PA. This is a sad story. All you can do is to continue to work on yourself. One thing I noticed is your reasons for regretting it are self-focused. They are about how you felt, not how it made him feel. Now I suspect you will say that you do feel bad about what he feels, but that should be your focus. How he was hurt by this, if you have a chance to save your marriage. That is what he will be looking for. From the sound of it, it sounds like you were not very happy in your marriage. If this is the case, I would say don't push for reconciliation because you feel guilty for cheating. Reconciliation is very hard, and you both will not be successful if it's done because of guilt. Story 2. 1 year ago, I found my way to these boards, desperate for answers as I finally started doing the work to repair old betrayals. We thought we'd already gotten through it, but we'd only swept it under the rug, and I still had one big secret to tell. This past weekend, we were out of town visiting some folks. I had a few moments of zingers. At one point, husband pointed out we were driving past a location that was closely tied to my time with AP. Another time, someone told a story about someone else who cheated on their spouse. They were really heated about it, spitting fire over what a horrible sort of person they were. If I hadn't already known that person, the angry storyteller, had previously been unfaithful to their own spouse, I would have struggled with that a little more, but since I did know that, the tirade didn't really bother me. I recognized it was just compartmentalization. I wanted to check in with betrayed spouse though, so I asked him about it during our weekly meeting once we got home. He said it hadn't even crossed his mind all weekend. He hadn't thought of it when he pointed out the location, and he apparently missed the angry rant about cheaters. Mostly he just felt proud to have me at his side over the weekend. He felt love. He felt connected. We are definitely in a different place these days than when I first showed up here. My fear back then had been that we'd gotten stuck and wouldn't be able to heal anymore. My fear was that I would have to choose between half a life or divorce for forever. My fear was that if he really knew it all, if he knew who I really was, we would be over. But I was tired of living in fear. Can you ever be truly loved if you're not truly known? That question has stuck with me, so I have been doing the hard and brave things to finally fix what I broke so long ago. It's not perfect. There are some things I still want to talk about, but can't quite yet. No secrets, just vulnerable things to share. But now we are actually healing, and that feels very different from the familiar brittle truce of rug sweeping. It's the difference between a peace treaty and a ceasefire. But folks don't seem to stick around these pits of despair long term. So many people perceive a fair recovery to be fucking miserable, with a low chance of success. Confronting the most selfish and shameful parts of yourself is fucking miserable, but not worse than ignoring it and continuing to suffer. So I'm back to share a story of success to help balance that narrative, even if my therapist was ultimately right about healing and moving on. In one of my first posts here, Breakfast noted I felt my life relationship was framed entirely around my infidelity, and I needed it to grow into something with a more fulfilling and productive future focus. Valid and astute, that's exactly what I needed. First, we had to do the hard parts of healing, to give betrayed spouse what he really needed. But now our focus is on more. We tried joining an affair recovery community as a way to move forward together, but that wasn't the right fit for us. We also started exploring a different interest together, but there wasn't much community related to that, so I created one, and now we have a group of 200 people with similar interests in self-growth. That has been pretty cool, actually. Not only do we get to enjoy something fun in a setting that cultivates intimacy, time, space, the intention to be vulnerable and connect, we get to feel like we are building something new together, creating the satisfying future we want to have, and not just burdened by a past we can't change. I could gush about my husband forever. This is the best fucking human on the planet, and I'm so grateful he is by my side. I absolutely did not deserve all the chances he gave me to get my shit together, but I'm so thankful for them. I am a better person because of him, and he is a better person because of me. Not because I cheated on him. Don't be dense. I'm more than just that, you know? We both know we are better together, and we both worked hard to better meet each other's needs. Yes, he has worked hard too. I felt like a paper doll standing in as his wife, simply there to serve a role. Needs to look like a person, but doesn't require any depth. I felt like the more he knew about the real me, the less he actually liked me. I felt trapped behind a bland facade, unable to risk more disapproval. He's changed the things that created that feeling for me. Today I feel seen, unconditionally accepted, admired. I feel like it's safe to be myself and I won't be rejected. I even feel trusted. A couple months ago, husband made me an offer, a privilege I didn't think I would ever have again. I was surprised, but that really felt like trust. I declined it for reasons that surprised him. For him, that reinforced that I was worthy of his trust. His offer was genuine, not a trap. I just pointed out concerns he hadn't considered, and which showed him that I absolutely prioritize our relationship. That was a really good moment. So that is what healing looks like for us, 11 plus years after infidelity and 6 months post-final D-Day. I'm sure I'll still pop in from time to time. I just wanted to leave some resolution for those who come looking for stories later. It has been really fucking hard, y'all. Grab your courage and do it anyway, because it's worth doing. I think even if we'd ended up splitting, I would be here saying the same thing, because it was honestly killing me to fake it like that. I feel much more at peace with myself now, not in an I don't care that I hurt him sort of way, but in an I feel congruent with my soul now finally kind of way. If you have some truth you still need to trickle, let this be your sign. Trust me, you'll just end up back here in 10 years if you don't. Remember, your husband gave you a chance, which you didn't deserve in the first place. No betrayed spouse owes the cheating spouse a chance. But your husband gave you one and stood by your side while you figured your stuff out and healed. This is a good man. He doesn't deserve to get hurt again. If you so much as think of starting another affair, The right thing to do would be to leave. This man doesn't deserve to go through it again. Sure, you're more than your affair, but an affair is still a colossal indicator of one's character. Reconciliation is a lifelong commitment.